Let's just continue our coverage and bring in Vice President of America First Policy Institute, Fred Fleitz, and open source intelligence analyst Ryan McBeth. Gentlemen, great to have you both on. So, Fred, let's start with you here. So, Iran is now claiming that 7 of their people were killed in a military base due to U.S. strikes. Now, the president is warning we will start bombing infrastructure, such as power plants, next week. What is the end game here when it comes to bombing power plants? And do you see that as a very viable next step?
Well, it's interesting. This current round of attacks really is concentrating on taking out locations near the Strait of Hormuz to limit Iran's ability, maybe cut it off from attacking this area. And this includes supply routes to towns and cities where there are military bases or other areas where drones and missiles could be launched. And also the attacks are going further inland to take out areas where these attacks could be attacked. There's attacks near Tehran to try to also increase the pressure. I think Trump is pretty serious to give the message that the Iranian regime is not going to wait him out because of the upcoming midterm election. I don't know whether Trump will make the move to attacking power plants, but that is part of his strategy.
Okay. All right. And then, Ryan, the president, he stayed fairly tight-lipped about future plans for the Iran war during his speech last night. I was actually a little surprised by that. Take a listen.
We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed because no country can be great without fair and honest elections.
So overnight, the U.S. targeted multiple bridges in Iran and communications towers, striking a major blow against Iranian supply lines and communication abilities. Were you, I guess, Ryan, at all surprised this infrastructure hadn't already been taken out?
Well, there's a finite number of sorties that you need to fly in order to accomplish a mission. Step one is always go after surface-to-air missile sites, then go after radar sites, then go after command and control sites. And at some point, the president is going to say, all right, stop, because we've hit everything that can be hit, and anything else, such as bridges or even power plants, require either more complex attacks or, look, we flew over, I want to say, 13,000 sorties. That is an insane number of targets hit, an insane number of targets. And Iran is a massive country. It would take up the entire Midwest. So there is a finite number of targets you can strike during one period of darkness. So, yes, there's still plenty of targets inside Iran that need to be hit.
Yeah, fair point. Fred, the regime, keeps sending out messaging that they are ready to fully commit to the terms of the MOU. But then, as we're going to show you, again, probably viewer discretion would be a little bit advised. That's kind of a very sick image that we're seeing there. You got this mural appearing in Tehran. Unfortunately, President Trump lying in a coffin, a worldwide call to assassinate him. Are they ready to talk for peace, honestly, Fred?
I believe there are elements of the Iranian regime that do want to talk. They do want a ceasefire. They don't want their country destroyed. But frankly, the regime overall has not abided by anything it's committed to. This memorandum of understanding, which we made major concessions, they're basically laughing at us by agreeing to the deal and then up in the ante, think that Trump's going to let them get away with it. Trump's now sending a message that he's very serious. If they want to negotiate, they have to abide by their agreements. So my hope is that the elements of the regime that want to negotiate will be able to prevail after these attacks. We will see.
Yeah, we will see. Ryan, lastly, the UN is now accusing the Iran-backed Houthi terrorist of using a flight back from the Ayatollah's funeral for transporting Iranian National Guard troops and weapons into Yemen to conduct even more terror activities. Iran and their Yemen-based terrorists are the Houthis. They are, of course, Ryan, denying all of this. What do you make of it?
Iran was a major source of weapons and components. I guarantee you there aren't any Houthis sitting in a cave chewing on khat, manufacturing their own long-range drones. So they get a lot of this stuff from the Iranians. And if they wanted to try something like shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait, they would need these weapons and components from Iran. So yes, I have no doubt in my mind that Houthis flew back with something.
Yeah, I would have to say so. Red Flights, Ryan McBeth, gentlemen, great discussion this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank
Good to
you.
be here.